She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be. Weird. So we didn't do that this time. I took a pause and realized what I was auditioning for, and then it became like, I will elbow everyone out of the way to play the part.
Rachel Zegler isn't Hollywood's favorite actress because of her many inappropriate comments, and people are even starting to label Haas as a major pick-me girl because of it. There's even rumors that she might get fired from the production because of it, and her many lies. Rachel Zegler's role in Snow White is surrounded by massive controversy, not only because of the film's direction that she's in full support of, but also because of the way she's been acting and interviews. Not only do people think she's being a pick-me, but they also believe she's generally being quite disrespectful and annoying. One of Rachel's most criticized moments is actually when she showed some major sass while talking about the new direction of the movie. When asked about the original fairy tale, Rachel made it seem like the prince was absolutely the worst and that the love story was outdated, which made fans seriously mad.
Bringing a modern edge to it on stage. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely...
Fans of the original movie reacted negatively to her attitude, seeing as it Rachel doesn't seem to want to honor the original story at all. Imagining old concepts in films is fine, but what's with a condescending attitude? It feels like instead of trying to make an interesting new version of a century-old movie, it's more of a vanity project to them. No matter how good your message is, it won't land if you deliver it poorly. Her comment about all of Andrew's scenes getting cut, since it's not going to be a love story, seemed especially disrespectful, and fans definitely weren't here for it. It's really not
the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood.
Wrong way isn't even that there isn't going to be a love story, but that she said it's really, really wonderful there won't be a love story, as if having a love story is a bad thing. Also, he didn't stalk her. Maybe if you're talking side about the original movie you're remaking, you should get your facts straight. In another interview, Rachel even revealed that she actually didn't even like the movie growing up, and that it genuinely scared her. I was scared of the original.
Scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. Like, I'm being so serious. I watched it once and then I went on the ride in Disney World, which was called Snow White's Scary Adventures. Doesn't sound like something a little kid would like. Was terrified of it.
Really cannot understand why she was so eager to play the role when she didn't seem to have any prior interest to it, especially since she made it seem like she wanted nothing more than to play it.
Pause and realize what I was auditioning for, and then it became like, I will elbow everyone out.
Some people even feel like she might have taken the role away from someone who genuinely loves Snow White and the original story, which means we could have lost an incredibly passionate actress to someone who doesn't even care for the character. She's only watched it twice in her life. Now you got to be a fan to even think about being this iconic character. Some people are even accusing Rachel of doing this just for the money, and that she has no real passion for the cinema, which is such an important aspect of it. Many people feel like they'll never be able to immerse themselves into the movie because of Rachel's attitude and her many comments on how she hates the role. Zegler gives off this "I deserve this role more than anyone else" vibe, and the fact she has zero good to say about the original is disgusting. That she even got the part. Her very negative feelings on the topic are especially obvious because her co-star Galadoo seems to love the movie so much more and genuinely seems to have passion for it.
Back then, it was amazing. I even remember being a babysitter and showing that, you try to keep them engaged and interested, and whenever they got too tired, I used to always play this film for them. But I think there's something so special about Snow White, the fact that it's about the humanity and it's about nature as well, and it's a beautiful story about an amazing girl who wants to find the true self of hers, that is just so appealing.
Fans even feel bad for Gal for having to put up with Rachel's many demeaning comments and her views on how horrible the original movie was when she seems to love it so much. Notice how Galadoo talks about how honored she is to play this role and to retell the classic story that she loves. All Rachel wants to talk about is how awful the old one is and how much she hated it. How many flops is it going to take for Disney to realize that they are about to go bankrupt? People were also incredibly put off by the fact that Rachel revealed she actually watched the movie for the first time in 17 years when she got the role, which really makes it seem unfair for everyone else who potentially auditioned and was a way bigger fan. Even when Rachel addresses the more valid side of the feminist retelling, which is about Snow White's own personal journey. Her repeated comments on how dated the cartoon was keep rubbing a lot of fans the wrong way, since her attitude never seems to go away while talking about it.
The cartoon was made 85 years ago, and therefore it's extremely dated when it comes to the ideas of women being in roles of power and what a woman is fit for in the world. And so when we came to reimagining the actual role of Snow White, it became about the fairest of them all, meaning who is the most just and who can become a fantastic leader. And the reality is, Snow White has to learn a lot of lessons about coming into her own power before she can come into.
Some people even feel like she's seriously contradicting herself because of how she said she never wants to seem ungrateful for the role she has, when that's exactly how she's making herself sound in some of these interviews. It's like she's not even trying to seem like she loves playing Snow White when all she has to say is bad things about the character. They practically had to change the entire story to please Rachel, which seems like she's been incredibly demanding with the role. Some people have even pointed out that Rachel used to complain about getting hurtful messages and how it doesn't feel nice. However, she speaks very big about being your own hero, which doesn't really line up with her past views.
Every time that a celebrity gets like one DM that says KYS, they're like, I'm getting death threats! Someone save me! But not a prince! Don't
anybody but a prince.
Don't you dare save me.
She like when Sony, she's like I'm getting these death threats, and the cops were like, well, save yourself. Like,
yeah, you're a girl
I saw
boss,
that.
aren't you?
I saw that.
We find it's even been pointed out that Rachel has seriously been lying when it comes to some of these interviews, since she's actually said that she used to love Snow White in another interview. That doesn't really line up with what she spoke of her childhood experience. She even said that she's been to the Disney ride many times, and that she often got mobbed by fans whenever she went. However, people have pointed out that it's a complete lie and that she's never been mobbed at the park, and seeing as she's admitted to only being on the ride once, and that it scared her, which made her never want to go again. It's hard to tell what is even real anymore. Rachel has even gotten some backlash from the movie's director, according to some people, which seems completely crazy, seeing as the movie hasn't even